Welcome back to Capitol Review. We're talking to Maryland Delegate Leslie Lopez on her reaction to the Texas shooting. And Delegate, the last time we talked, you were pushing to pass House Bill 425. That actually bans the sale and possession of ghost guns on the House floor. And since our last conversation, it's now become law, even without Governor Hogan's signature. So talk to us about that, getting bipartisan support, and talk to us about how soon it goes into effect and breaking it down, what it actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last time we spoke, the House bill was in a different position than the Senate bill. We took some Senate amendments, and that's how we got the bipartisan support. That was partially a Senate-led effort. The House accepted all of those amendments, and we picked up some Republican votes in the House as well. So as it passed, it was based on what we expected to happen at the federal level, and so President Biden has signed those federal regulations into law or to enactment, and now everything's kind of complete. So where the dust has settled on all of this is that it is now illegal to purchase a gun kit or unserialized frame in our country. You can purchase a gun kit, but it has to be serialized by the manufacturer. And when you do that, it will go through the standard procedures as if you purchased any other type of firearm. It will require a background check. And so if you purchase it online, a gun kit online, or an unfinished frame or receiver online, it will go through the same exact process as if you had purchased a traditionally made firearm.
When does that start? When does that go into effect?
So March of 2023 is when the enforcement for unserialized possession goes into place. So if you have a homemade firearm, you have to have it serialized by March 1st of next year.
And you've now tackled ghost guns. It's something that you've been working on for years. That's huge. But what's next? When and how does gun violence stop?
Well, I'm aware of the fact that if you really want to fight violence, and specifically gun violence in our state and our country, not all the laws will have to deal exclusively with guns. There's going to be, resources for treating addiction, like a health crisis. There's going to be more resources for mental health that should be prioritized. There's going to be ways of reversing the failed war on drugs that need to be taken into account. And so it's not just bills that will come out of my committee, the Judiciary Committee, that should tackle this. It's really a holistic and comprehensive approach.
So where do you stand when the issue is pointed to mental health? Because I want to bring up what you wrote in 2019. It was an article titled More Than Thoughts and Prayers. And in it you say, to use mental illness as a scapegoat for gun violence stigmatizes people who are in need of real resources and support and allows leaders to skirt their responsibility. You add in there, to the spineless politicians who have sold out to the NRA, may God have mercy on your souls. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I believe those things now, and I believe them then when I wrote them. Um, you know, People who have mental health issues are usually the victims of crime at a far greater rate than they are the perpetrators. And it's a way of dismissing all of the other issues that have created the gun violence epidemic in our country, to just say, oh, this is one random person who has a mental health issue, right? This is the second time in a week we've had a shooting where more than 10 people have been killed. I don't even think all of the people in Buffalo, New York, have been buried yet. And I think there were 11 or 12 people killed there. That was the most recent death count. And now we have young children. And so certainly mental health is something that we need to be looking at as a country. There are definitely far more resources that need to be put towards addressing all the mental health disparities in our country, and just addressing the individual and collective trauma that we have. However, that's not an excuse, and that's not a replacement for the work that needs to be done specifically to address gun violence.
So what's your biggest frustration now with your Republican colleagues? Have you talked to anyone about what happened in Texas?
And, I've had a number of colleagues reach out to me, but no Republicans. We did manage to get the ghost gun bill passed with bipartisan support, and that was largely because we took amendments that would specifically help out those hobbyists. And my door is always open. I am very responsive via email anytime anyone wants to meet with me about any of these things. Perhaps some of your viewers have even called my office to express concern, and I try to call people back as frequently as I can, and talk to them directly and explain what these bills do and what the intentions are, and go through all these steps so they know that we are trying to come at this problem, surgically when it comes to how the laws are written, but understand the scope is large because we're trying to go after big problems.
All right, Delegate Lopez, thank you so much for being here on Capitol Review and for your time.
Sure, thank you.
And we'll be right back.